Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Roach.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with our reaction and review for the Pitt Season 2, Episode 13. We are now really in the home stretch of what feels like this is the season where everyone needs to have an existential crisis. We are in the midst of it now. With Robby, we are seeing Langdon start to second guess. Oh, should I have not come back? Should I go somewhere else? Like Mohan's going. Everybody is going through it seemingly at the same exact time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been feeling, and I don't know if any of you guys are feeling the same way as me, that while this season has been good,
Mhm.
this season has been pretty negative. There's a lot of bad things that are happening, people really in their heads, personal things that are happening, and they all, like you said, happen to be happening at the same time. And because of that, it has definitely put like a cloud over the pit this
Yeah.
season with all of the different characters. And it has all erupted in this particular episode because Robby has been getting ready to go on this sabbatical.
Yeah.
But now he's sitting back telling Dana, like, I don't know if I can actually leave because this person is this and this person is the whole place is going to collapse without me.
The one thing I really do like about this episode, other than one character we'll talk a little bit more about later, is just this notion of we're having people wrap up their shifts at this point. You
Yes.
know, Robby is technically not on shift anymore. You know, we've got Jack Abbott coming back, and we're seeing this with some other people. But the problem is, once you start running out of things to do, you're kind of left with nothing but your own thoughts. And then you start to drive yourself a little bit over the, like, just out of your mind. I've been here, I've done this. And so I'm sitting here watching Robby do this at this point, and it's just like, you have to actually figure this out because all you've been doing is trying to avoid problems in your life for I don't know how long, ever since season one.
Well, here's the biggest question. Was Robby planning on leaving and not coming back? I mean, there's more and more evidence of it. And even in this episode, where he basically said, you know, what if I don't come back? It is starting to feel less and less like the roof situation from the first season and more of a, what if I just get on my bike and go and I realize that I'm much happier and I actually just don't come back? And that's one of the reasons why he's like, Whitaker, you can just, you know, take over my place, water
Yeah.
my plants, all that, all be good. And hey, if I don't come back, you know, Whitaker needed a place to stay anyways, so he can have my place. Like it's all kind of fitting together in a way that I'm like, oh no, oh no, Robby, were you just planning on not coming back?
Well, it's a really interesting thing to get into because I feel like there are multiple headspaces he has on that subject, just like there's multiple headspaces people have on where they're going to be even after this one day. But
Right.
we're going to talk a lot about it. Before we do, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be here with the rest of the Pitt Season 2, breaking things
Mhm.
down, sharing some theories with you guys. Also, if you're subscribing to HBO Max, odds are you're going to be one of the millions and billions of people watching Euphoria. There
Yeah.
has been some trailers that have been coming out. This is going to be, I don't know the words to describe what this season is going to be, but it's going to be exciting and we're going to be here talking all about it.
Absolutely. We're also going to be covering The Testaments, which is coming up for all you Handmaid's fans out there. We enjoyed The Handmaid's Tale a lot. The Testaments coming up, very exciting for us, as well as From, which is a horror show on MGM Plus. It's amazing. It's super awesome. If you're into that sort of thing, check that show out. It is getting deep into the seasons, but it's getting better and better every
Yes.
single season. Also, on our memberships, currently we are covering Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, but we are also covering The Boys, which is coming up very soon, and it is in its final season, and it is just for our members. It's a way to say thank you for you guys supporting us through our membership. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we so much, very much appreciate
We
that.
do.
Okay, Dr. Robby. Like, here is my tinfoil hat, I guess, on
Oh.
does Robby actually just think I'm going to go on this motorcycle and never ever come back? I do think this is a fantasy of his that he's probably entertained a lot before.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it's something that honestly a lot of people probably think about, which is just this idea of what if I just leave my job and then I just never come back and then I just go off and do all these sort of different things. And I think for Robby especially, he's someone who really feels like this will cure him because he attaches so much of like the pain and the stuff that he's going through to the hospital and things that have happened to him there, losing a mentor, going through everything that he did in season 1, that I think just this idea of, oh, all these other things they'll cure me because they're the complete opposite of what has actually caused me these problems. I think if you're a medical professional, you probably know scientifically this stuff isn't true, but I think if you have enough evidence to the contrary, you can start to convince yourself of things. And I think this is why Robby has convinced himself this will work, because he has this idea that, oh, if I'm just happier, I'll just never come back because I'll have found the thing that makes me happy, and it's sure not being here in this hospital.
Okay, so my
All
tinfoil
right.
hat is that when he planned his sabbatical, he planned to not come back. I think
Oh,
he
okay.
already in his mind was working towards that, feeling like I have really good staff here. There's lots of doctors here that I think can really continue to run with this. And I feel so good about my staff, Dana, Mohan, everybody at this point. Langdon's not here anymore. This staff is so good that I feel confident that I can take this road trip. And if I actually feel that I don't want to come back, everything is going to be taken care of because everybody's on point. And then he comes in and everything's burning to the ground and everybody's upset and things are happening. And he's realizing that the trust that he had in his staff isn't there, even though that's not really the case. Everybody has a bad day, and it just happens that a lot of that's happening at the same time. And for him, I think it's even exasperated because if in his mind this was going to be his last day and he was going to ride off into the sunset because he felt like everything was just being taken care of, that smaller problems like Mel having her deposition and not feeling that great about it is now even bigger in his mind than it would have been on a regular day.
He just can't see anything clearly anymore. And I think because everything has gone so awry, as you alluded to, he feels, okay, I just need to put the Superman cape on all the time.
Right.
But to quote another medical show in Scrubs, the theme song is I'm no Superman. It's just like Robby. Nobody at this hospital is Superman. It's a collective. This is why Dana telling him off close to the end, it was, yes, exactly, perfection.
It was perfection. I love that she just called him out on that, was
Yeah.
like, this place ran before you, it'll
Mhm.
run with you, it'll run without you. You are not the glue that's holding the hospital together. It's all of us together. We all play a part. You are not one person running this place.
I think Robby is just wrestling with all these feelings that are going on inside of him. It is that misguided judgment that he's just going to go away and make himself better, which I think he knows is not really the case. It's just a
Right.
mere distraction. It is the idea that he knows that he's good at his job. And I think there is a little bit
Yeah.
of an ego that comes into this where I don't want somebody else to do the job if I think I'm legitimately good at it. I think he does value helping people. Like, I think that part of him is still there. It's just covered up by a lot of other things that he's going through. And I think he wrestles with all of these. I think in his heart of hearts, he is still like, I feel like I want to leave, but I think there's this other part of him now that's emerging more and more that is just like, is leaving actually the best thing for me? And if it's not, what do I do about that then?
Absolutely. I mean, okay, all of you who thinks that Robby is not coming back, press one in the comments. I'm just kidding. This isn't live, but tell us in the comments. Do
Yep.
you think that he is just not coming back and that he's already planned that he wasn't going to be coming back?
Yeah, I think he will absolutely be there. And it's not just because, like I said in the last video, I'm fully on board your theory now that Robby is going to get into some sort of accident before the season is over.
I was starting to think that it was going to be before the season is over, but like he's not leaving the hospital. Like the time is running out here. There's not very many episodes here left for him to have left and get into the accident. But I don't want to see a whole season,
Mhm.
please, of Robby in a hospital bed. This cannot be like Grey's Anatomy and what they did over there. I do not want to see that happen here. If you're going to have something happen where the end of his shift has happened, he's like, you know what? I'm going to get on my bike. I'm going to go, get
Yeah,
into an accident, comes back. 2 episodes is all we need. One
yeah.
episode is all I need. I would just like him to see his staff working on him, bringing him back, helping him through it, and really realizing how good they are.
Yeah, it can be handled over a very short period of time,
Yes.
honestly, because I think what matters the most, like, you can also raise your hand in the comments if you think that the Pit is actually going to write out Noah Wiley. Like, he's the star of the show. He just won an Emmy. Like, of course he's going to make it through or he'll come
Yeah.
back to the hospital. So I think the
Yeah.
ultimate question here then is, all right, how does this stuff affect him moving forward? And yeah, that idea of him getting into an accident, even if it's only for an episode, like
Right.
I'm not that invested in whether or not he lives. It's like, okay, well, what's his experience on the other side of that now that he does view all these people, hopefully a little bit differently?
Yeah. And I think that if this ends up happening, that this is the way that him and Langdon can find a way to really move past things if he is one of the people that's able to help save his life.
Yeah, and I think Langdon needs something. Like, this man is just crashing out and crashing out. I mean, I'm glad Mel can be there for him because, I mean, she's gone through her fair share of struggles over the course of this day. Like, I
Yes.
think Langdon even knows this is ultimately the place where I can do the most work for people. I think Langdon cares a lot about that too, but it's really hard when he probably built up this day in his mind for weeks and weeks. I'm going to go in there and, also put on a Superman cape, or maybe, I don't know, insert another superhero outfit here. And it's just like, nobody's really giving me a chance. And it's just, unfortunately, in some circumstances, you kind of have to earn it again.
Well, and the hard thing here with him is that some people are giving him a chance and some people aren't giving him a chance.
Yeah.
And when you're in that situation and you already feel bad about what you've done, plus you're working through treatment and you're working on apologizing and getting past all this stuff, and you're trying to get back into things again, he's likely only going to be focusing on the negative, and the negative comments are coming towards him and make him really think, am I doing the right thing by being here? Did I come too early? I think it's something that a lot of us can relate to, that even if you hear a whole bunch of positive comments or we're really happy to have you here, there's one or two people that are just like, what? No. Then you're like, oh man, I shouldn't be here.
I
I work like that.
I think a lot of people do, and it's just really, really hard to get over these hurdles when they're just being thrown at you, especially at a point like Langdon where you're so vulnerable already. But
Yep.
I'm just gonna say this: I'm not too worried about Langdon moving forward. Like, I think he is going to be able to get over this hump. I think he'll do some heroic things, whether it's with Robby and other patient in the final episodes. Like, I wouldn't be stunned if Dr. Al leaves because we're not as invested in her, but at the same time, there's still a ton we don't even know about what's actually going on with her.
Okay, Ogilvy may also be leaving. I mean,
Yeah,
after everything that happened and him losing that patient, Whitaker did the best to try to build him up at the back of that ambulance to say, listen, like, this does happen. It does sit with you, but you got to keep pushing forward. Whitaker actually saying, give me your scrubs, just go home. You need to, like, let this day be. I'll see you tomorrow. Are we really going to see him tomorrow? He also feels like someone who's washing out.
I think there's a really good chance he's washing out because I think it all kind of comes back to not comparing being a doctor to being on a reality dating show, but there is this question of, are you here for the right reasons? And
Bruh, are we getting into The Bachelor?
listen, it's not on this season. We got to talk about it somewhere. So, okay, really, I do worry that Ogilvy got into this profession to show how smart he is and to show that he is capable of doing all these different things. And he never really took stock in the emotional human side of it. And now he's being forced to confront this all at once. And he has to kind of make this real decision now of, can I handle this part of it? Like, can I be here? The one sliver of hope is, and you brought this up in the last video, everything he did with Cassie, where Cassie
Right.
has kind of already shown him, here is a different way to be a doctor. Here is a way to help. I think that if he does come back, getting in touch with that and working somewhere with her, like, that's the only real path forward I can see for him, because otherwise he's just going to be facing this same problem again and again and again.
Yes, this is the part of being a doctor that I would never be able to do, and that is losing a patient. I'd
Mhm.
always wanted to be in health services, and I was for a while as a funeral director after someone has already passed on.
Mhm.
But being a doctor and losing a patient, every day or every
Yeah.
other day or even once a week. Like, I just wouldn't be able to have the weight of that on my shoulders. So I really appreciate that the show is giving us this storyline through Ogilvy, somebody who came in overly confident,
Yeah.
saying rude things, and then is faced with some of the toughest stuff that doctors go through, and that actually broke him.
Yeah, and I think it's really, really well done. They took this character who just frustrated all of us to no end
He
for
still frustrates me.
yes.
I feel bad that he's gone through it, but it doesn't wash it away.
No, you can't wash it away. But we're seeing now him faced with the consequences of these actions that he didn't even know were a part of the equation
Right.
going in. And that's just a really fascinating idea. And I think the fact that we're watching
Yeah.
all these doctors have to confront these issues this season in a way that's totally different than season one. I mean, like Javadi's this great example of like one of the
Yeah.
most ambitious young people in this entire hospital who has now lost her confidence, hit this breaking point, and here's Robby just like pushing her into like the most uncomfortable position where she doesn't even know if she wants to be there anymore. And it's just sort of this is an environment that can be cultivated. It's why I wouldn't want to be a doctor either.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough situation watching that with Javadi because Robbie really does believe in her
Yes.
and pushing her back in to be like, Miss, listen, you can't just go home. I know your shift is over. I know that you're tired, but this is an excellent opportunity. And I want you to get back on this horse right away. You have to stay on the horse because if you go home and you have enough time to think about it, and Robbie knows this, you can think yourself to death.
Yes. Let's get into the part of this episode that I knew I was going to enjoy, but I enjoyed it even more.
Oh,
I love the night shift. I know there's been a lot of
I
people.
love the night shift too. I want
Yes.
to spin off.
I know.
Let's go.
I've always entertained the idea, but then it's like, you guys are just throwing red meat at me at this point. You already have Sean, who is a part of it. And by
Yes.
the way, there are people on the show being like, where is Abbott? And I was just like, did Sean just get lost in a hallway halfway through this episode? Like, where is this dude? He's supposed to be an attending, but we have him. You've got, Mary McCormack showing up. Then you have
Yes.
who I will now forever call Dr. Sean from Shrinking, who is showing up as one of the, Luke Timmy. I really love Luke and I'm really happy but it's just like all these people I really love getting to play these really different roles, and they all just feel like these really, really well-developed characters, despite like us barely seeing them. Like, I don't know if we'll ever get a spinoff, but I would watch it.
Oh, I really think that they're talking about getting a spinoff together. I would be shocked if the people behind all this don't love money and don't want to end up having more of this, more Emmys, more money. Why not have a night shift of this as well? They're already building a great cast with this. There's no reason not to do this.
Yeah, it just was woven so well into this episode.
Yes, and everybody's talking about it, and people seem to really be clamoring for it. I
Yeah.
mean, the masterminds behind this, if that is what you were planning, you were doing a very good job. You're getting the hype up, you're
Yeah.
introducing the characters. We'll move into this spinoff already knowing people and
Yeah.
loving people.
They've got all these tools in the toolbox, and just knowing that we've got these people here. Obviously, a spinoff would be great, but at the very least, we
Yes.
can assume we're gonna have them for the remainder of this season. And really, we need Sean to I know his name is Jack Abbott. Well, we need Sean to be able to just, I don't know, get into Robbie's head. He's really the only person there I kind of trust can.
Absolutely. I mean, we have seen it this season. We
Mhm.
saw it last season. Jack is the one person that can really talk to Robbie in a way that Robbie listens, and vice versa too.
That is where we are now coming out of the Pitt season 2, episode 13. So close to the end here, guys.
Yep.
But how do you think this season is going to end? Would you watch a night shift spinoff? Let us know. Hit that subscribe button. Support us further. Join our memberships. Thank you so much to
Thank
everyone
you.
who has. We will see you here next time.